Stay strong.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay safe, everyone.
Stay together.
Stay hydrated.
Stay
Test.
fresh.
Stay strong. Stay safe. Stay at home. Stay at home, yeah.
Stay at home. くれぐれもお体をお大事に。
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. I am Nyana from IK Academy and I would like to welcome all of you to our webinar of the Learn with IK Live series. organized by our iClub by IK community page in Facebook. Do join our community page and don't forget to invite other people so that everyone can gain something beneficial from it. Just go to the page and click join. As a friendly reminder, please register yourself through Eventbrite to make sure that you won't miss any notification for our upcoming events and as a record purposes that you have joined our webinar today. If you have any question to ask about this, just type in comment. Our crew will attend to your question. And also don't forget to type #IK Academy. I would like to say thank you to all our returning audience and to those who are new and this is the first time that you heard about us. We are a technical training provider. At IK Academy, we train and we integrate knowledge technically. Neutrality is our priority. We are totally brand neutral with a strict focus on education. Our training programs cover power, maintenance, environment, building facilities, mechanical, electrical, project management, and more. We are committed to provide the best learning experience to everyone. We believe learning is a lifelong process. Before we proceed with our webinar today, please like and share this live webinar with those who you think will be interested with our sharing. You may click the share button and share it directly to your FB page or your LinkedIn page or YouTube, anywhere, as long as it can reach to as many people as possible. Okay, and also please type #IK Academy in comment to show your support and also your presence today. So today we will have a webinar with the title of Effective Spare Parts Management, Reducing Costs Through Optimized Spare Inventory. So our invited speaker, Mr. Nyana Pragasam, will share his knowledge and experience with us today. So before we proceed with the webinar, let me read a bit about his profile. So, Mr. Nyana Pragasam holds academic qualification in Master of Science in Manufacturing, holds Bachelor of Science Electrical and Electronic Engineering and Diploma in Mechanical Engineering. He is also a member of the International Association of Engineers. He is an accomplished practitioner, consultant, and trainer in the areas of maintenance management system, specialized in ISO 9001, ISO/TS 16949/LRQA implementation, conducting internal and external audits and certification at factory level. He is also a certified plant auditor for ISO/TS 16949, LRQA and TPM in bracket PM. Mr. Nyana Pragasam has more than 25 over years of working experience, started his career at Siemens Malaysia, later at Motorola Semiconductor in the areas of quality, productivity, maintenance discipline, and has served in managerial position, improving productivity, quality, cost, and safety. His major accomplishments were in coordinating TPM bracket PM teams in line with organization goal to achieve JPIM award, coordinating and maintain maintenance culture in total productive maintenance TPM towards zero defects, equipment losses, 5S, and cost reduction improvement program activities for organization growth. With his skills and knowledge, he has also extended his auditing competency and machinery set up for contract manufacturing industries, improving their operational costs and increasing their productivity locally and overseas. So we are delighted to have Mr. Pragasam together with us today. So Mr. Pragasam, you can switch on your camera and also unmute your mic. Good morning. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
How are you?
Thank you for the long introduction.
If there anything that I miss out about your profile, please you can edit
okay.
up.
It's okay. I think that's more than enough. There are people out there even have more qualified than me. I'm very humble.
You are so humble. Okay, so to everyone here, please say hello to Mr. Pragasam by typing in comment, and also don't forget to type #IK Academy. So are you guys ready for the webinar? And again, I would appreciate your help to like and share this live show to everyone that you can think of. You can probably share in your community page, in Facebook, LinkedIn, or anywhere else now so that they can join us together. Or you may share around the link via WhatsApp, Telegram, or any medium that you may find. And if you have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to type your question in comment section anytime, and I will read your question accordingly while after the presentation finish. Yeah. So I think Mr. President, you already shared your slide, and I shall leave the screen for you. Okay. Enjoy, everyone. Okay, bye.
Thanks, Diana.
Most welcome.
Very good morning to all, whoever, morning, afternoon, evening to all of you who are present and want to know more on effective spare part management. So I will be presenting on this, how we can go around and how we can see that we can improve our spare part. And when you improve your spare part optimization, you also improve your cost, reduce your cost, and then you able to see the difference before and after this webinar. Yeah? Okay, this when we talk about webinar today, we are talking about the spare parts here. Spare part, what is what is spare part? Why we our agenda will be what is SPM, spare part management? Why should we manage our spare parts? And what are the objectives of our spare part inventory? And then we look at our break. Also, I'll touch on the breakdown maintenance and holding. These are the some of these costs that you hold. When you all, most of them, when I go through these trainings, so they are very delighted to know that there's some costs related to holding costs, carrying costs, and some formulas in economic order quantity, reorder point calculations. And they also further understand what is FSN, further fast moving, slow moving, and non-moving. And understanding on also on ABC, that is how we look at ABC, any spare part, we have to divide the spare part and then we identify which is falls under the category of A and B and C. I'll also show you some of the best practices we can do in our spare part immediately after this training. I'll provide some of these tools to you so that you can use even after this webinar. You can go and practice. And but from this, I also show you how you manage. You also need to understand how we can form a team and create a smart goals and what is good in outsourcing our in-house. And I also show you a small case study here, how we can do differently. But when you look at overall, the team has a lot of challenges. If you look at the team challenges, they have to overall monitor the performance of the spare part. That means the inventory. And then they have to make decisions based on whether they want this item to be ordered or not. That is how you look at the item. What indices or what formulas should we be using to look at ordering spare parts? Then ensuring spare part availability. If you don't ensure spare part availability, then you may see fall into the long machine breakdowns. Then getting a inventory of visibility. So we will show you some of these 5S. How a factory should look into the spare part area. Then you also have to create some of this operation day to day. I think most of you know about CMMS and SAP, which are the common tool, where we able to track our day to day, what went in, what went out, and what is in the inventory inside. So the cost that we are going to look at it. Then we also show you some of this, how you can do your cycle count. That means we have to monitor our spare part on a daily basis, whether we want to audit daily basis or whether we want to do in a time taken in a quarterly basis or yearly basis. Then getting timely alert on alerts, how you can get alert. So through the CMS or SAP, we can get it alerted. Then the final part is how we can optimize our spare parts so that we can, how we place our spares so that easily accessible within, we always call it in a single minute. We want to take it a single minute detection. So you should be able to have done in a single minute. So I'll touch all this. When I touch all this, you may able to understand spare part for today. And if you attend my 2 days training, you'll understand even better because there will be a class exercises. What is spare part? When you talk about spare part, you have a machine asset, we call it asset, machine, equipment. If you look at the overall equipment, when a machine is down, the first thing what the maintenance people will do is they go and look into this problem. They identify the problem, and if it is a failure related to a spare part, then they have to need immediate replacement. So spare part is an interchangeable item in a machine. That is when this interchangeable item is kept in the inventory. So where is the inventory? Like your storeroom or warehouse where you keep it, used for repair and replacement. So this is the item that you keep in your inventory. If we look at it, if you're keeping all these items in your inventory, if let's say, if you have a machine down for frequently, then you have to keep more space. The lesser the breakdown, the lesser the spare parts. The more the breakdown, the more spare parts you need. So this is how you must have additional, so that the spare part will fall into maximum and then it'll fall to minimum. So we need to know what is related here. If your machine is failure, then the store have to have more space. If your machine is less failure, then the store will have less space. So why manage? So now you understand what is spare part. Spare part is interchangeable, is like any other machine. We need to be interchangeable. Just like your car is an interchangeable item when you. So if you look at why we need to manage, so downtime is very costly. When you look at downtime, one of these machines is down, then the asset is bought into bring in revenue. If this particular machine is down, then the revenue is down. So downtime is costly for any business. It will disrupt the flow, upflow or downflow. If it is an inline machine, then if one of the machine, example, one of this machine is down, then the flow is disrupted. And whatever schedule planning and scheduling is set, it will be offset. So we may end of the day, may not meet the necessary output, the performance of the machine. Then it costs money. You know, money is the biggest thing. Eh? So what is a purpose? We need to know our criticality, which will explain to you. We must have the right parts. So the part must be arranged and organized properly. Must have the right quantity, that is what we are talking about, minimum and maximum. Location, when you want to retrieve the item, it will be easily accessible. And the time, you need the right time. That is what we are calling at the lead time. The items comes in the proper time and the right level of quality. We call it a EOQ or ROP. And top of that, you must have a least total cost, you know, the inventory cost of your, and the right data. So the data comes from your software, whatever software you're using, like CMS or SAP. So when you look at any of these machine fall into this category, a machine down and time to recovery. And this is a time notification. So this notifications comes from your job order, whatever job order or work order you raise, this is where the notifications comes in, and then you time to diagnose. And this is a time that we need your space. If this spare is not available, then this line, whatever you see, will be extended. So our goal, the goal of maintenance, and if you look at the spare part, they report to, if the maintenance is to have the right level of quality. That means we are, you must understand on the EOQ, that's the economic order quantity and reorder point. Objectives. What is every inventory? There's only two things I always tell them: either you overstock or either you no stock. So our goal is to have zero stocks. And then when you say zero stock out, means we must never in any time we must not able to say, hey, I don't have spare. So what happens? The after exchange rejection will be machine down, and then you have to follow up, continuously follow up. And then you need to look at the objectives of the lead time. How can we improve your lead time? By having multiple suppliers who can supply us within the shorter lead time. Then you also have the objective of ABC counting. ABC counting is how you count, how you divide this area into A and B and C, the high value and low quantity, and then you do your auditing. Increasing the accuracy, that means your audit, whatever you have, whatever is in the system must tally physically, that the unit, that particular SKU, we call it SKU, stock keeping unit, is tallies. And we also see a transport reduction time. If you have a factory here and a factory here, so this is when you have a multiple run, we have to see that we can reduce the time. Repair and return time reductions. And the most important in the store, if you look at it, when you go into further, when I go into, you will have 40% to 50% comes moving into the obsolete area. Why we move into the obsolete area? After 2-3 years, machine has been, the machine has lost its useful life. And then the spare part still there and there's a value. So what happens? We still keep the spare part because of the value. So what we need to do for this? what are the action we can do in future, what are the action can be taken. Then physically it be secured, and then you also must meet the FI, for post in, post out. So here is what I gave always. I say we must have a dashboard within the store to tell you what is day to day, what is the data look like. So you have a dashboard. So if you have a dashboard, so the people are aware that what is going on in the line. So this is to eliminate your paperwork. Always a decision making between the finance and the maintenance. Finance always say we are carrying too much of cost. Maintenance always say, hey, when machine down, we need this. There's always challenges between these two. So what we need to have a win-win situation. We should negotiate. We should be able to negotiate, and then we will see what is the right amount of spare to keep. So this will be a better of a understanding of the teamwork between the finance and the maintenance and the production. So example, if you look at this machine, if you break it into all these parts, and then the maintenance should be able to understand which part has the highest usage in spare part, whether in 1, 2, 3, and 4 or 5. So if I look at this as my example, then I have to keep more space here. If this is not my critical, then I have less space. So I can have my minimum. So this is a way that maintenance should look at their machine, each individual machine, how to reduce the space. So if this machine, you wanted this machine to run, maintenance will say, must need space. What the finance will say, you're carrying too much of cost. So I want to show you a little bit on the breakdown maintenance. What is breakdown maintenance is? This is what in the real life and in real time you see. When I have this machine running and I have this machine running, this machine, everybody happy, everybody goes back. The following day, this machine is running, and this particular machine has some problem. So we have sent the maintenance crew to go and repair. That is where you find the technician and diagnose the fault. And after finding, you find that one of the spare part is not. So what happens? So if you find the spare part and you don't have a spare part, what happens to this machine? So this machine is now temporarily shut down. So when this machine is temporarily shut down, I have only now 1 or 2 machines. So 2 machines running. In what happens in the later part, you have a similar type of machine. The second machine is down now. What happens? This machine is down, and this machine also find no spare. So what this machine come as a spare part. So now it will come as a spare part machine. Later, this machine will be scrapped because over the period, this machine is neglected. This is what now common things happen in your production flow. When this happens, where is the fault then? Who takes the responsibility? So this is where you need to understand how a equipment, when you have a breakdown, what action should be taken. So just talking about holding cost means whatever that comes in. That means when a person orders and he have so much of approval, after the approval, and here is the supplier, he supplies item. And here when we receive these items, when they arrange and when they receive and then arrange it, this will come as your holding cost. So the holding cost will be divided into capital cost, whatever item that you buy under capital also will be here. And then if you look at the whole area of the storage cost, you are looking at the storage cost, one of the costs. And then inventory service, in terms of you have the service like your head count to service, keep this item to service, you have another service cost. But it's not the spare part unit cost. It is only the holding cost. To hold this unit, you need all these items. So inventory risk cost, what is inventory risk cost is, over the period, these items comes obsolete. So this is a inventory risk cost. Initially, when you buy each item, you may buy in US or whatever currency you want. When you scrap this machine, who do you scrap? To a dealer. Dealer, metal scrap. So we sell in kilo. We buy each item in US dollars and then we sell by kilo. So is it a good practice? So we need some best practice how to overcome these obsolete items. So example, I give you some of these examples. These are real life examples. You can see if you do not organize your space, this is what we end up. Everybody start to, if you look at everybody will be chucking the item and then they place misplace. So is it organized? Is this what we want? Is this what we are looking for? So we have to change our mindset. So what are the things we need is mindset change. So mindset does not change, then we never can see the changes happen. Ordering costs. Now you know about holding costs. Whatever comes in now, when you order, this administrative cost. So cost to purchase requisition. You know, when you use your systems, you need to raise an order and then to prepare the purchase order, you get it, and then that's a long process which all these are go into your ordering costs. Example: if I want to order one item, these are the costs involved. Every item, these are the costs involved for ordering. So if the more the order and more of this cost will happen. The more I order and the more the quantity, if I order more quantity, more, if my quantity increases, order increases, what happened? My holding cost also increases because, so these two, so we must find a balance, what is the right balance that I can order so that my ordering cost and holding costs will be more or less equivalent in the inventory. Example, I'm taking you all thing how this works. This spare part management works is, what the spare part will be doing is they will be ordering all these items. So their job is to order because they find this as a minimum. They have to place an order. But if you look at the maintenance guy, what the maintenance guy here, this is maintenance. What their major scope should be reducing the number of failures, the number of stoppages, the number of, see, if I continue to change sensor, then I'll be, if I can reduce, if I have a total one failure and then another failure, example, this I have three failure, example I take, if I can reduce two failure, then I order from 3 to 2. Later, if I order, I have no failure. That's what the Japanese says, zero failure. Then I don't have to order very frequently as I order. So maintenance guys work on this way on the x-axis and store people work on the y-axis. So these are the real scenario I'm taking and sharing. So you all, when you collect your maintenance guy, when you all do your analysis on your maintenance downtime, you also have to look at what are the new things that I change in the machine. So here is an example how you do your economic order quality. If I have an annual sales of 6,000 unit at the price of ordering cost of 300 and then the holding cost, you see that is every time you order, the cost also goes up, and then you have a holding cost of 50 US. This is the formula that I'll share with the team, and then they can work out what is the right balance. So when you work out a balance, you'll find that this is the right balance. This is the quantity you should order, not here. If you order this, and if you order very high, the cost will be higher. Then if you order at very less point, the carrying cost will be high. So this is how it works. Whether I want to order daily, weekly, monthly, and then this is how you can calculate. So if you calculate, I can order about, when I put this order, I will get at any time I order one quantity of 268 units. So this will be explained to the team how you can control and maximize your spares. Then also further than that, what is, when you know what is a quantity to order, when to order. So this is very important, when to order and what is a quantity to order. So I also give a formula like reorder point and reorder point with the safety stock. So there's always a safety stock, is a normal stock. If the average usage and lead time is predictable, then we would use formula 1. If it's unpredictable, then we use formula 2. So here is, we can also use where the order varies very much, then we'll use the maximum daily usage, maximum lead time. So here is 3 formulas is given for the team to understand. So reorder point always works like that. Whatever you order, then it comes in. When it comes to a certain point, then you order. So by this is the lead time. By the time the lead time, then the order is good. The lead time is 7 days. Then I receive an order. And then by the time it depleted here, then I place an order. So it takes another lead time to complete here. Then I receive a new order. Then, so to safeguard the machine from down, I also have a safety stock. So I'll keep a safety stock. If I'm using 6 units a year, then I'll have a 6 unit and plus safety stock too. This is how the team will understand why, when, what to order, when to order, and what is the quantity to order. So safety stock is very important because, in these times, in these critical times, with COVID and around and people, and so with the shipments and people are finding cost is one of the things. So we deliver the material, may fail deliver, so we keep a safety stock. Difficult to meet your customer. You supposed to receive, also you have a problem, your customer also demand in terms of demand. So it's difficult to meet your customer, we need to keep your safety stock. Disadvantage will be a little bit disadvantage rather than your more expense, we will hold a little bit more inventory. That is that at that point of view, you look it is a waste, but it's not a waste because you're looking proactively, machine man is down, and then you have the spare to get the machine to run. So a little bit on fast moving, and when you look at your inventory is divided into 3 parts. Part 1 is fast moving, part 2 is slow moving, and part 3 is non-moving. So what is fast moving, what is slow moving depends on the consumption rate and depends on the average stay in your inventory, what is your usage and the period of analysis. When you want to do this type of analysis, it should be not in a very shorter period. You can do in 3 months time, and then you take a term of 6 months and take a 1-year term. So with this term, you can know what is your fast moving item, what is a slow moving item, and what is a non-moving item, and what action to be taken non-moving item, and how we can see that the non-moving item does not stay in your inventory. Why? Because somebody have to take somebody have to take responsibility and make sure that non-moving items always kept secure. So here's also I've got a formula for them, for the team to go through how to do this calculation. So they will use this holding inventory and divided by this a formula given to them with the closing and what the receipt. So they will know this is a average stay. Any product will say 4.6 days. If a product stays for 10 days, then we know this product is slow moving or fast moving or non-moving. So this is how the team can go look into each of their spare part and then make a decision. Is it a fast moving, slow moving, or non-moving? So when you look at the other consumption formula, we look at the issue and the number of the days, and then we know this is the number of day that unit is there, or the number. You can also know what is average usage, like number of units. So that is about fast moving. Now the same, whatever you have in the store, you see there's an alternative that given the choice given to the team. Hey, you can, if this doesn't work out, you also look into another way of looking at your spare parts. Also classify into 3 parts, A, B, C. When you talk about A, B, C, what is A, B, C? People will ask you, A, B, the cost of the item, whatever item you have will be high cost, but when you look at the quantity, it will be very low. Based on this formula, you can see the item will be at 80%. The cost of the total cost will be 80%, but the total cost of the quantity will be 10%. If you take any item you have bought, so this is how the falls into the category. So what we need to do on A, what we need to do on B and C. So we must take much care on A. So what are the things to do in A? How you can keep that A secured? So in case of emergency, so this item is expensive. You can, if you have a budget, you have overblown your budget, and this comes as an issue for you. So further, the team will be will know what is VED. VED is vital, essential, desirable. When you talk about any item, now you know about ABC, and the team understands what is ABC and fast moving. We also need what is the importance of vital, essential, and desirable. So when you look at vital, it is very vital. When this item, when you look at it, how you quantify it. If the item, if a machine fails and this item is vital, whether it's essential or desirable. So we are looking at how we can quantify this item under this basis to say this. when vehicle includes inventory necessary for production, and so we do not want the machine to be production to be down. So we go on and identify these are falls into what category by looking at how we the production, how it affects the production. SDE is another type of analysis. You will talk about the lead time. If the lead time is very high, and then it become very scarce. When the lead time is very low, then it become easily available. So some items fall into these three categories. So if you know now your lead time, and if you know your VED, then you can make a proper decision of purchasing what are the items you need. So when the team will go through all this, they will know what is spare part description, and what is the inventory should be give, and what is the usage should be, and cost of the unit, which everybody knows. When you look at the store, everybody knows cost of the unit and the total cost. They know the usage. They know what type of inventory they're keeping. But when you provide the team with more alternatives, like when you have this problem, how the EOQ can help you, economic order quality can help you, how the reorder point can help you, how the FSN comes play, FSN and ABC with the SD, VD, and here is high, medium, low cost, and lead time, and plus criticality. So a team can, the team that working on the spare part optimization and cost reduction go through this cycle. They may in the time to come, they can reduce their cost by looking at what actually we want and what actually we don't want. So we make a decision, so that there's two decisions they will make. We will always make no, we don't run out of no stock or overstock. So this will be their goal, final goal. So they can draw a better line with these formulas given, so the team can go forward to the cost reduction program. So here I want to show, so far this is how you control your spare part. And now we are really take a walk inside into the spare part room and see what really actually we can do different. So we need to look at the employee size. Who is the employee? The people who work in the store day in, day out, who take care of the store. So our leadership begins with the managers. So managers can learn from the warehouse. So managers should be part of the team, where he himself, with the absence of the store people, he can also issue. That is what you need to build. That type of skill need to be built, and then is how to build that skill. We begin with the ground floor. That means visiting. That means once a week or every. You must have this. In Japanese, they call it gamba. So gamba means a visit every day. A visit whether everything is in order or not. That everything abnormal or normal. The Japanese will look into normal, abnormal, and then we see the flow, pulling out the order, packing out, and receiving a shipment. This is what we should. The leadership begins. And you see whether the operation is slow, inefficient, then he takes some action, because he is in the position to take action. And with the employee, you can take what is the best layout. How can we organize the fast moving item? How can we organize the A, B, C items? Then also appreciating and feedback keeps the workers happy. So you can give some type of feedbacks which will make the employees happy. And then they can create a greater system, because they understand what is the issue is it. So that's easily approvable can be done. And then you solve issues that haven't been thought of. So when you go through a store, this is the posting starts from the top management. When you draw this triangle, that starts from the top management until it comes to the lower employees. This is employee level, this is a high management. They must be able to travel to here and transfer whatever knowledge they have here. So whatever skill they also can. So it is more on learning and exchanging of ideas. So how should your spare part room look? Whether you want this type of spare part, whether you want this type of spare part, or very a little bit organized spare part, this is what you're looking to. So you need to move from there to here to here. So if you have this type of spare part, you will be holding more inventory, because the spare parts are distributed among all the departments. So we need to centralize them. You'll spend more money. See, we don't know when you look at it. If you look into the Maintenance also have their own cabinet. Maintenance also have their own toolbox. They also have the drawers. So spare part from the main general one, you also use carry costs. Here also carry costs. Here also carry costs. So in overall, you carry more costs than the cost you should carry. So you'll have an increased obsolescence, because if the item is obsolescence, everybody got an obsolescence item. And then you also increase your downtime if the particular person doesn't come to work, who is holding the drawer keys. So at that particular time, there will be an increased downtime waiting for the particular person to come and distribute, or he is in meeting, he is somewhere. So you have to request him to come and open the cabinet. That will increase. Only the owner can access them, in rest of the team cannot access. So that will be a block, that is a block for the team to move forward. So we need to organize our spare part centrally. So what are the ways to improve your spare part or organize? You see, when you go, only this person can know where the spare part is. Like example, when you go into any of the spare part, they let it the belt hang. This is one of the weak point of the belt over the period. This has more stress on the belt, and the belt, when you install on the machine, and this belt will not able to perform properly. The performance of the belt, because it's been hanging 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. So what happens to the belt? And then when you look at the other way, when you go in, is it possible to come out? If some of this item drop down, so safety is an issue, and accident may occur if we do not take a proper organizing of the space. So we need to create a visual factory. There are factories who are creating like storerooms. They're putting a big signboard and explaining to the people, this is a 5S factory. So this, you are creating a visuality, one of the best practices that practiced by the spare part stores. So how to do it? This is a bottom-up explanation I gave you. Whatever comes in must go out. If it remains there, then there will be overflow. This is a simple theory. So what we need to do, either you drain out here, either you drain out here. So if you don't know how to drain out, then most of the item will come obsolete. Obsolete or obsolete. So these are costs. So someone has to hold responsibility. So less item come in, or you cannot have less item come in. Only we can order with what we earlier went through, the EOQ, economic order quantity, and plus reorder point. So we do not order more, we do not order less. What we want, just like they call it, just in time. We order what we really need, then you order through our systems, looking at these other systems. So what we're going to do with non-moving, when you go into the move, then you rate tag these items that you don't need, and then you dispose them, or you whatever the management thinks of, you can do them. So how you label them, more than you can go according to this. I means medium and low. So you make a category more than 3 years. So how to remove? You create a budget. You create a budget to remove the unwanted item over the period. So you cannot immediately scrap the items. You create a budget on monthly basis of $5,000 or $10,000. So you create a budget, then you slowly clear up all this unwanted. Otherwise, you can see some companies still keeping. Some company started to this, so they put in a rate tag and ask to remove the item over the period of time. Summary, when you look at it, how to do. So what our goal is to work on this. What cannot be used. So what we did, we need to discuss. Let's say this is a fast moving item. What are the things you want to take? This is a slow moving item. What are the things to take? And then this is a non-moving. It's not scrap yet, but non-moving, because over the years it's not moved, so it's non-moving. Used twice a year. So this is so our goal when you go walk into any spare part room, this is the first goal you should be at. So what is the goal that I've discarded? Because it's no use. So now if my warehouse is this big, let's say example, this is my warehouse. Now I've removed about 25% of my space. So this is the best practice that can you to remove the 25. Now I improve my overall space with fast moving, slow moving, and non-moving. One of the practice that you can do after this. How you can do it? you go and once you have developed the system, then you go into each of the fast moving, slowing, how you how you do your location, how you can locate for small items, how you locate for big items by identifying what row, rack, and cell position. So this will make your spare part area more environmentally, not only environmentally, and it's more organized, and you'll see the benefit of, you see a reduction in your costs. And when we go deeper inside, sometime you want, now you have completed, now when you go in deeper, some you really need to look at the spare parts. If you look at the spare part may at times will carry many part numbers. So this is one of the issue you'll see, because it go by department. Maybe this is in the department A, this is a part number they use. In department B, they use the part number used. Machines are same, more or less same, or more or less that system we're working on, like pneumatics. So C will be doing this and D. So look at what is C is spending about $36 compared to the. So this is one of the cost reduction you also can do without doing anything. We standardize. Once you standardize, we can save about every time you can save about 50 over US dollars. In companies, to overcome space constraint, you cannot go ask the management, give me more space, give me more space, give me more space. Example, in this case, give me more space, give me more space. No company is going to give you more space. You have to work. That is where you either work smart or work hard. If you work hard, you cannot do anything about it. You work smart, remove this, and then go for this. So you can have an automated lift system where you can also improve your space. So this also another for small items, small items, you don't need a big space, so you can use this and you can occupy a lot of area. And one of the things is the most secure, because these are all covered. All these are covered. Nobody can access until the person who have access card can access. So one of these way you can control your space. Those people finding space is a big constraint. In one of my training, they say space is a big constraint. So when I introduce this type of method, they will say they will look into it. So when you want to do stocking, you must also stocking at the right time. Don't put every item high, low. So you must have the fast moving items at this level, so easy for you to take. Those slow moving and non-moving, so you can put either high or low, so that this improves the retrieving time of the people who wanted the space. Okay, no record transaction, another one. So transaction, you should be having your simple system to track your accuracy. So one of the things is transaction. Always there will be a transaction saying system says 1, actual says, it's always the actual will be 0, system always there. So there's no type of transaction. So we have to improve on the transaction. Then when you do an inventory check, then you'll see the accuracy of the transaction. Centralization. If everybody carries a lot of space, then we need to centralize. So you look in ways to how can we centralize to reduce. Our objective, our scope should be cost reduction. So how to cost reduction? By centralizing. It will take time, but it is possible. It's not difficult, it's possible. There's two ways of doing, either by department. You can do by department, either by component. That means either by space, type or space, so common space. So you centralize. So when you centralize, then you can see a great reduction in your space, because everybody carry one times, and he also carry one. You know what the amount of space we are carrying, actually we don't need so much. So how you can go into that centralizing, you can have your system like what you say. They have a simple system where you have the barcode here, and whenever I take an item, or whether I receive or whether I issue, immediately the system takes care of. So we can have a simple CMS system or SAP system with link to your maintenance. We know what is a spare, what is the spare that you use for today transaction. We can have the day-to-day data collection. A little bit, people will ask me how is the metrics works, or how we can have a stock. So I'll explain to them simple and easy way using the metrics, looking at the usage and looking at the lead time. If your usage is less and the lead time is less, then you can have minimum space. When your usage is high and you have lead time is high, you improve your spare part. So compared to this, you also can use a matrix to learn how can we, so this can be done for each of these devices, each of the SKUs, and then the team can make a better decisions. So next we move on to cycle counting. Cycle counting is we count by we can take it as one row and then we can take as a cycle counting. We will count this unit and then maybe this whole row, then the following day, this other row. We should do this not in monthly basis, which I don't prefer because every month is 1 month to 1 month, you don't know what happens. If you do on daily basis, at least you know what is going on. So this is like real time and offline. If you do things, it's a little bit difference in your transaction. So how you want to do it? We divide the item into A, B, C, high cost, low number of units, low cost, high number of units. So we take and divide by the number of days, then we arrange everything. This is about 2 million units. I think you don't have, those people have 50,000 unit, 30,000 unit, they can do this ABC and divide it by this. This is when you do it daily on daily, going through it, you are keeping track of the items in the store rather than you do yearly stock count. When you do yearly, you do not know, the period is so long, you don't know what happens. If I break down the period to monthly, even I know what is going on. If I break the period to daily, then I even know what is happening. So what is our goal is no stock and overstock. So overstock, when you go to overstock, over the period will come obsolete. So this is what we need to do differently. Now, to do all this, we need a team. So the team that we need, the team is we form a team, and when we form a team, everybody comes with different sort of opinions. Then the leader need to do a brainstorming with the team. Once you have done the brainstorming, then you can do the norming with the, then things come normal, they start to perform. Immediately you cannot perform, there must be a time taken for the team to adjust to the culture and the mindset change. So we will have a stages of this, we explain to the team leaders. So the team leaders know these are the things in when they do this cost reduction program with the team, they know what expectations are. Also given them how to do your SMART goals. So SMART goals is what's supposed to be measurable. If I want to zero stock, if I want to measure zeros, I want to go for zero stock. So they should know what is the current and what they want to achieve. So that is what measurable. They always must know what is the current, what is going to be achievable. The other one, they also must have the timeline. They always say in 2022, but you must need 2022. What is the month they want to do? April. So they put in April. And what is the day that you're supposed to do? So you only follow up until April 20. Instead of April, you don't know what. If 2022, it can be January, it can be February, you don't know when. So you must be able to tell the year and then the month and the day. So this makes the team very committed to the goal. So this one will be explained during the training. So now the final one will be whether you want to outsource, whether you want to do what is a smart choice. Whether I want to do in-house, okay, I'll say the team, you have so much of space, whether the space can be salvaged and whether it can be done in-house or outsourced. So if you must need what are the advantage and what are the costs if I do outsource or if I do outsourcing or in-house. So the team will make a decision, okay, whether we want to go forward in-house or outsource. So when you want to go for in-house, I say in-house, I'll give you a way how you look at it. If you have a failed part, what are the necessary steps you want to take, how to rebuild the parts, and then how you commit to the stores. So this is the plan that this is the process flow of how you want to do in-house, and then you can see your cost saving in this. So when you want to start up a repair program, the team will be advised how you organize your spare parts, how you organize your failed parts, organize them accordingly, and then you start your program. Or you need to bring in whether in experts to train your machine or whether you want to send your people for training for this type of thing. So over the period when the person is trained, you're able to repair and you see the benefit of cost reduction. So if you're able to train your people in and out, then they'll come in expert. So you can see the benefit. So one of the program can send your experts, whoever you want to build in-house, then this is how the flow is. So some of the thing what can be outsourced, like this maintenance repair, there are a lot of outsourced. So we are touching on more maintenance also can be outsourced. So now I give you a case study, all these, then I'll always tell the team, it is possible to reduce costs or not in maintenance. Is it possible to reduce costs in spare part or not? If you look at this is a picture, and this is done in one of the food industry, and this food industry where you need to clear the feathers, remove the feathers. If these are the components that used to clean the feathers, because these are rotating part, just cleaning the feather rotating part. If the part is not rotating and the feather is not clean, and when the feathers is not clean, it falls into the quality issues. When you fall into these quality issues, then it's rejected over and additional work is done. So when I ask the team, what is the cost that you're spending? So I am spending, so you see two types of costs. Maintenance is spending so much of cost, and the store have to order so much of items. So your cost expenses for every individual machine, this one individual machine, we are spending that amount of money. And if you look at the usage, who is ordering this cost? The store people are ordering this cost, and maintenance people are repairing this machine. And if you look at not only one item, you look at subsequent, the chain reaction, also your gear. So when go into the deeper, what really exactly happens is, if you look at one of these gears, is look at the position of the gear contact with another gear. So it is this as a proper contact. So it may, when this rotate, this also may rotate. But in this position, if this rotate, this is unable to rotate because there's no teeth here. There's no teeth. This is the teeth for a gear. This is the most important point. This is the most important point in contact with the other teeth. If this is missing, then it don't rotate. When this won't rotate, what happens? This won't rotate. When this don't rotate, this won't clean. So the side effect, when you ask a cost, why, then you find out these are the costs. That this assembly with the team we found, this is where it is slanting over the period. When your maintenance is weak, the maintenance is not a strong maintenance, looking in things very weak, and then this slacks. So what happened? The gears get stressed. When the stress takes, there's too much of friction. With the too much of friction, what happens? You look the teeth, something have to give way. When there's a lot of friction, there must be a wear and tear. So the wear will take, it is in position. So this will able to tell you, okay, what are the things we need to do. So why not work? So I told them whether we want to go for redesign, whether you want to go change the machine or you want to upgrade the machine. So we redesign this whole assembly with a solid piece, So this was able to overcome this sagging problem. So when you overcome the sagging problem, these costs eventually go down. So maintenance costs maintenance downtime goes down, spare part goes down, and then eventually you see both goes down. We able to see the cost reduction. Okay, team. Okay, thank you for this 1 hour patiently listening to my presentation. I'm very thankful that you attend this presentation. I hope that you may learn, able to share, or able to come to one of my trainings and see how you can improve your spare part. How can you manage your spare part and also improve your maintenance.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pragasam, for the sharing. And we hope that you all learned something just now. So to everyone here, if you have any question to ask, please type your question in comment. And as for the rest of you, if you don't have any question, just type hashtag IK Academy to show your support and also your appreciation to Mr. Pragasam. So before we proceed with the questions and to give some time for everyone to write their question, if there is any, I would like to highlight our upcoming trainings that you might be interested in as shown in the screen. This upcoming training will be delivered either online or offline. So please scan the barcode shown and click on the link shared in the comment section to get more details. So, okay, let's continue with the questions. I think we have one question from Evan Bright. This one is from a maintenance engineer. How to identify critical spare parts?
Critical spare part means spare part that as long I show you my one chart, then
Can.
when you look at critical spare part, there's two things you look at it. So you look when you want to look at how to identify your critical spare. First thing you need to see how often it fails, whether it's failing, what is the frequency of the failure, what's the frequency of the occurrence. That's the most important. Once you understand how frequent you occur, and then you need to look at the lead time. If both the lead time and the occurrence is very high, if your occurrence is daily and your lead time is very high, then the item comes critical. So you use a measurement like this is a critical stock metric that I able to see. These metrics can work for your critical items using a matrix to quantify what is criticalness.
Okay. So I hope that answer your question, yeah. Then let me check.
Yeah, lead time was lead time times your occurrence.
Okay, thank you, Nana. I guess we don't have any other question. Okay, so I guess we have come to the end of our session. So any last advice or messages that you wanted to tell the audience?
Okay, we look at any industry. When look at over the period I worked in industries, the maintenance and there is a gap between the maintenance and the store. Unless the maintenance a store is a general store that's reporting to maintenance is okay. If the maintenance is a separate body and the store is a separate body, they have to work together. One of the things. So both of them, when they work together, handshake, that means handshake together, they can reduce a lot of these no spares and over spare. Then we also look at the other one is the overstock, which falls into the obsolete items.
Okay. Okay, so thank you, Mr. Pragasam, for your
Thank you so
sharing
much.
today.
Thank you for giving an opportunity.
I believe all of us here have gained lots of knowledge from you. So if you are interested to learn more from Mr. Pragasam, we have scheduled a session of 2 full-day training on 14 and 15 June about effective spare part management, reducing costs through optimized spare inventory. Please fill up the form via link that IK Crew share in comments to get more details about this training. And we might have some special discount if you are really interested to join his training. So thanks again, Mr. Pragasam. And to all of you here, please leave some comments in Facebook, LinkedIn, and also YouTube. And a thank you note to our guest speaker today. At least we know that we share something beneficial to you. And also don't forget to type hashtag IK Academy. Please like and follow our page in Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and also join our FB community page, iClub by IK, to get latest news for our upcoming IK Live webinar series and other content sharing. So do check our page for more details. Last but not least, please check your email for a thank you email via Eventbrite to get the link and barcode to retrieve your e-certificate, and don't forget to claim it within 3 days. So well, I hope I can see you again. Thanks from me, Diana from IK Academy, and stay safe everyone. Before you leave, please watch this video from all of us from IK Academy. Bye-bye everyone. Bye, Mr. Pragasam. Thank
Bye.
you.
Hi everybody. Hi guys.
Stay strong.
Stay safe. Stay safe. Stay safe everyone. Stay together. Stay hydrated. Stay strong, stay safe, stay at home.
体をお大事に。